Hey guys,
There we
welcome. Today I am joined by the infamous Mr. Fred Noguera, and of course, for anybody who doesn't know him, Tom, who is the CEO of Trybe, two of my favorite guys in the space. So I'm really excited to be here today. Fred and I, of course, have done an interview before, and I've talked a lot to Fred. Love what you're doing, man, and I really appreciate you just carving out a couple hours to hang out and kind of like answer questions and do this.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here again. It's always great to talk with you guys. So yeah, here we are trying to launch something.
Can I just ask a few questions before we start, Fred? Because look, to be honest, I haven't dived too deeply into Pixeos. I mean, I've visited your website, I've kind of kept track of you guys, but I haven't I still don't think I've got my head around exactly what it is that you guys are trying to do. And I hope I'm the only one. I hope, yeah. Can you shed some light, maybe enlighten me a little bit, just sort of give me the brief summary of what it is, what Pixeos is and what it is you're trying to do, and also like where you came up with the idea from. I mean, where did it all start?
Where did it all start? So maybe I'll start from there. Like the team's been working with crypto for roughly a year, like the team that is working together now in Pixeos. We've been trying to develop like many stuff. We've created a communicate, like a chat and messaging system, super configurable with lots of innovations. Like we put together everything because like we love to solve problems. So we like to put all the problems that the other day cannot solve, we want to put in a pot and try to get it sorted. So we've created this amazing messaging app where you could do everything there. So like we could make a crowdcast from the app. We could make docs editing and everything. So it would be like a pumped Telegram. And we were like very close to launch the idea. We were talking to VCs and presenting the project, and then bear market hit, like big deal. It was like our timing was perfect. So that grounded big deal, and it was a very specific project because when you're dealing like with an app like this, like the market is it's already taken. So for you to open doors and to convince people that it's something that you should launch and to have their backing was really complicated. And in that moment, I started to put my head to work and to say like, man, I need to do something else that would work. And I always had this idea that like, I needed to put something I love together with another thing I love and launch some tech product with it because I'm a tech addict and art collector and blockchain fanatic for almost years, 1 year and a half. And then I came up with Pixeos. How could I put art and blockchain together? Then Pixel Master came last year. I don't remember, September, October. I was playing it like big deal, and from first day, it was like super exciting. We had a very fun community, every day hanging out together to draw and to count with then in the end, they activated these pots, the threshold of the pot that if you didn't reach the threshold, the game would end. So every day we were painting, like spending a lot of videos in the game and waiting for it to end. And the last second, someone was coming there and like reaching the threshold, and it was continuing. And we were like for a week and a half or 2 weeks like this, every day, like 1 a.m. my time, waiting for the pot to end and to get some extra EOS from this. And it was like pretty fun. But then after 1 week and a half, the game actually ended for good. It was a sudden death because everyone was like super excited with it. And then I was thinking like, this could be improved. Like we could change it. And there was a lot of comments that it was a Ponzi style of game and so on. And I was like breaking my head to put together an economy that would fix the biggest problems of the game. And then I started to put other things together and to puzzle up in something that I don't want only a game. out. I want something that would be more meaningful. I want to do something else with the tech that we're building. So we came up with the idea to also support the artists, to have something that is profit sharing from its core. And then we came up with the idea of developing our own NFT standard. And later down the line, I couldn't imagine that we would be joining D-Goods and Mythical Games and all these mythical people there, like Scatter, Token Pocket, EOS Links, and create this consortium of amazing projects to develop a standard for years. What is like pretty amazing. We ended up with the idea of building up our own standard. We joined forces with them, and now we're developing a standard together for years that would soothe all the problems that we have right now with gaming. And it's a very, very detailed standard. There is a lot of stuff that we're working, the metadata and sub classification of NFT. So it would be really groundbreaking for the whole blockchain world. I don't think we've seen anything like that. Like you can go as deep as airline tickets, concert tickets, sport tickets. So everything we will solve a lot of forgery, not only in arts. So it's pretty amazing what's going on. But yeah, that's how the idea. I came up with the idea. We decided to start to pump first the Pixel Master model, and then we decided to tokenize it. So you would be minting tokens while you're painting. So you're not only putting EOS there and waiting for a unicorn pot that maybe would never come, but you would immediately get tokens returned to the years that you're getting in the game. So this fixed a bit this Ponzi feeling that the game had. Then we came up with a staking system similar to DICE and the other what you see in the bet platform. So basically we're launching something that is not betting, is not gambling, but you still have the working tokenomics and mechanics in the platform. And then we'll move to many other stuff, like we'll be issuing the NFTs, the first canvas of the game will be converted to an NFT. We'll go to the auction house, and we'll implement the gallery of NFTs where the artists, they can publish their arts and sell them for collectors, for enthusiasts, for any kind of users. We are just finishing to implement our shop. So we will have a artist merchandise shop that we're creating now with a partnership with Threadless. That is one of the biggest artist platforms in the world, I would say, with hundreds of thousands of users. So we will integrate with them. We're working like firsthand. Ben from Cypherglass and Ledger agencies helping us a lot with all of this partnership. So we're really working in we have a mastermind right now for adoption and for mass adoption of the EOS technology. So we'll integrate and put together as many projects as we can to bring people from the outside world and for them to discover blockchain and start using EOS to transact, to buy stuff, to play games, and so on. So yeah.
Just for those who don't know Pixel Master or haven't seen it before, can you just explain a little bit about how Pixel Master worked and like how that will kind of translate into Pixeos and how that sort of aspect of it's going to work in Pixeos?
Yeah. Basically, Pixel Master was also inspired by other platforms. I wouldn't say platforms, but websites. You had the Reddit place that was a giant canvas where people they were painting pixels there, and later on it was also an advertisement place, and it was you had hundreds of thousands of people that painted in that canvas. Before that, there was the $1 Million page. It was a kid that wanted to pay for his studies, so he decided to put a website where people could buy pixels for $1. And he ended up making much, I don't know exactly, but at least $1 million with this canvas. And Pixel Master actually put a crypto economy into those concepts, right? Using only EOS. So how it worked, like you were buying a pixel, and if someone would come and buy your pixel, you would get something, some profit from it. Right.
Yep.
And then you had a pot that was accumulating based on the game volume. And it was going like this. You had like dividends. We were collecting dividends every hour, and afterwards they opened it up. And it was like pretty profitable actually. I made a bunch of views with it. But then I didn't have a continuation. It was something that when the canvas is full, when the pot, this threshold that they activated later was reached, just ended. So that's something that we want to avoid with the staking system, with the minting and turning the canvas into NFTs, and then we could launch a second stage of the game. People could start still mint the tokens, and in every, let's say, round, I would call round, we would end up with a canvas that will go to the auction house. And not only the canvas will go to the auction house. Artists, they can submit their art for auction in the auction house.
Yeah.
And then to Pixeos platform, then we will have the shop, as I told you, that we're preparing to launch like very soon. And then the art house that I think is one of the most interesting parts of the platform. That is a tokenized creative media and visual arts marketplace where you can go and hire artists to do the work that you need. If you want a family portrait in pop surrealistic style, you look for an artist there. He will paint it for you. You back by an NFT, so you have a provenance certificate of the art, and you pay with crypto.
One of the interesting things about Fred is Fred contacted me. It would have been a little while ago, and we kind of had like a brief conversation. But I will say this, Fred, like, I've never seen anybody in the entire space move with the precision and the gusto that you moved at. Like, I've never seen anybody as quickly put together a group of incited people who are built around this movement. And I know that previously you spent a lot of time in the space in which you would manage events, and you just you forged some super important relationships very, very quickly. Faster than I've ever seen anybody do it in my entire life. Do you think that some of those previous skills that you got from event management have kind of, in some sort of way, contributed to the success of what you're doing right now?
Yeah, 100%. Because when you're dealing with events, when you're putting together an event, first you're activating people. So you need to convince people to come and to be part of that. Besides that, you need to surround yourself with sponsors. So you need to contact this whole lot of beverage companies, you name it, like the guy that will pay a part of the stage and the guy that will sponsor a bit of the light. So you need to put together people to make the event happen. And it's like a giant puzzle that you need to do in hyperspeed. So you don't have time. You have like this big music festival on the 25th of May. And in that date, you have all of that. You need to have all of that put together. I think Tom left us. But for sure, yeah, this and also the endurance to do it, because I'm used to work like there's no hours for me. Like before, it was like this. When you're organizing an event, there's no sleeping, there's no eating, there's no toilet, there's no anyway. You need to put that together and deliver to the people, and the people they're expecting, and they want to have fun and they want to have a good time. Obviously, when you're dealing with tech, and I have some people in our group that are really impatient, because the last thing I wanted was to delay the tech. But you know, coding and software is very precise, but also unexpected science, because you get to stages, you're using third-party stuff that you cannot control. And the moment that you implement, maybe in the jungle net, it works fine. And when you deploy to the main net, it doesn't work that fine. We have a very young blockchain. Like many things, they're still in beta. So yeah, we're dealing with a lot of challenges of third-party stuff in our own. Like there are many bugs. We found vulnerabilities in the staking contract, so we need to delay the staking, like I would say 3 days. to tool it up and to have it like 100% safe, because it's not only a game. People, they don't understand that this is not only a pixel game. You're dealing with the intricate tokenomics and mechanics that they need to work, and that is vulnerability. And then you have a lot of bad actors that they're waiting for you to fail a little bit and come and ruin the whole stuff for you, for users, and for the platform, and everything goes to waste. So yeah, but coming back, yeah, the event management definitely gave me the endurance to work in this pace on crypto, and but yeah, it bothers me a lot that I cannot control the software parts.
Event management,
a lot of stuff, and I can plan and strategize a lot of stuff, and they work like round the clock, but not with software. So yeah, I'm having a hard time.
Event management sounds exactly like trying to run a crypto business in that case. You should be perfectly suited for it, because it's 24/7. No one sleeps. People have got high expectations. If you don't get, despite the fact that we're in beta and that everyone knows that we're struggling with new software and everything, people still want things done. If it's not done the second you say it's going to be done, people start getting angry, and it's like,
no, but we have an amazing community. Huh? I had like 1 or 2 guys that they got really angry. I understand that the timing is like super important, but more important than time is safety. So in the crypto world, like we worked with cybersecurity before. We were developing. We made many wallet integrations. We created some cybersecurity tools even for Telegram. Before, we have even Jeremy Nation, that is our writer right now. He wrote the Forbes piece. He worked with us in that project for like about 6 months. So our team is very experienced in this area, and we would never deliver something and deploy something that is not 100% secure. So that's that. People will need to be a little bit patient and be sure that when we'll deliver something, we'll have a minimum possibility of being attacked or hacked or anything like that.
Yeah, because in the end, I mean, you are dealing with people's money, whether or not you're a traditional bank, or whether you're just you're paying them tokens for their time. People have spent time investing in this thing, and if that's not safe for them, then you're going to lose credibility really quickly. And yeah,
that's absolutely the truth. And like, honestly, like, all things aside, and I hate to say it, when is anything on time ever in crypto? Like, it doesn't happen. There's delays. This is life. You know what I mean? And we all do our best, and we do what we can. But at the end of the day, sometimes there's things that you can control, and there's things that you can't. And I think, though, like, the key that I've seen you do is really build that strong community. I went into your chat the other day. And of course, I was trying to show what we're doing right now a little bit. So I dropped a message in there, and immediately got buried in some of the most insane gifts I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, people in there, they have passion, man. They love what you're doing. They're having fun.
Absolutely. I don't know if you've seen, like, we have one super community member that is now now he's a featured artist. We have a group, like, I think already 16 huge featured artists in any fields of graphics and visual arts that you can imagine, from 3D, motion graphics, pixel art, traditional painting, oil painting, acrylic painting. You have everything there. So we have a group that is wonderful. Like, you put up a challenge and you're flooded with like amazing graphics and stuff. So yeah, we're really lucky to see. And this guy, he's Mr. Spaceman. He's a very good musician, but top musician. And he has a very, very nice song. And he made a whole video clip for Pixeos. But then you see all the ES celebrities speaking in the video. And you see Brock Pierce, and Dan Larimer, and Brandon Blummer, and myself. But it's insane, man. It's like so good quality. He got like 10,000 views in a couple of days in that video, and he just launched his YouTube channel. So I feel that we're finally getting some adoption. We're finally showing people that crypto can be cool, that crypto can look nice. It's not only a place of geeks talking about tech stuff. So you can actually have fun. And this is what we need. We need fun. We need commerce. We need people transacting stuff or useful stuff and using like real mechanics in the dApps. And that's why the dApp world is so much more important than the I'm sorry for the expression, but the vaporware protocols of the crypto world, right? Because we leave the 2018 and 2017 in the vaporware protocol world. Like you had like these super lengthy white papers of speculative coins, right? And they never delivered. I've invested myself in private sales and then for future blockchains that they were launched. The project was launched in the summer of 2017, and I'm still waiting. And they're still telling soon, and they're still working like turtles and not delivering anything. There's not a test net. There's not anything, right? Then I have stuck, I don't know, 50 Ethereum on there. So that's what is amazing about the dApp space, that you can have a slight delay of a couple of days, but in the end you have a proper product that you can actually use, and you can use your tokens on it, and you can win or you can lose. It doesn't matter, but we're proving that tokenomics work for the first time, that it was a big challenge of the crypto world.
What I love about your project also, Fred, is that you bring people, artists who are not necessarily crypto nerds, into crypto. I mean, because so many dApps I see, so many things are designed just for the crypto community.
Yeah.
I mean, they're, software things, or they're finance things, or they're, very sort of crypto-based things. Whereas yours is totally sort of, you bring in a whole new wave of users who maybe know or even care nothing about crypto, and they, they just want to, they just want to do art, and they want to get rewarded for it in some way, and they want to be part of a community. And yeah, that's kind of what we're trying to do at Trybe as well, right, Matt? Like bring on users who aren't necessarily even care about crypto, and just sort of bring them into this space. And I guess that's the only way we're going to achieve some sort of mass adoption in the.
It's the only way right now. It's the only way, with all the regulations that are coming, with everything that we may face in the future. We need to bring mass adoption. It's to bring people that are not in crypto. Crypto people, they have enough to have fun with, and they can move around freely. So we're 100% to bring new people to the space, and we are always like checking everything. Like I'm like super paranoid about checking everything. So I check everyone that goes into the group, and I know in which other group they are, and I'm like really happy to see a lot of people that I don't share any groups with them, and I mean almost all ES groups that you can find in Telegram. I'm there, and I have a lot of people in the group that they are only part of Pixeos. The only group that we share in common is Pixeos, and they are asking for ES accounts because they're coming or from other blockchain crowds or completely new into the crypto world. So yeah, we feel that we gave. I think we gave like, I don't know, I don't remember, but it was over 1,000, 2,000 ES accounts in the beginning. I needed to interrupt it because there is always someone abusing the systems. So some people were taking like 50 ES accounts in one day, the same guy. So we had bots,
right.
Because we had a free ES giving account bot, and the bot was geared up and full of ES accounts for new users. And the guys, they were coming to our group, taking 50 ES accounts and leaving the group. So I finished that. So right now, if someone needs an ES account, they need to come and ask us. We'll ask a couple of questions on DM, and then we'll give a free ES account. That is something that we'll continue to do. We will always give free ES accounts for new users.
For sure, buddy.
That's cool. Have you got a community? Are you sort of part of an art community outside the crypto world, or are you connecting with art community outside the crypto world? Where are you kind of going to get the majority of your users from? How do you envision that working?
You mean past users or from now on?
From now on, past users or from now on. At the moment, I'm guessing you're just sort of connecting with a lot of people in the EOS space, but going into the future, how do you see the?
We had a lot of people coming from other platforms that are somehow connected with arts. So we had a lot of people coming from Steemit. We had a lot of people coming from Mono. We have Stella Bell, that is a big ES celebrity in our team, and she founded in the past Slothycorn, that was also an artist collective or a crypto artist collective, and many of them they're joining. It's pretty random. Like people, they're talking to people, they're introducing the project to other people. We are very strong in marketing, so we spread the world around. We have a beautiful community in China, a beautiful community in Korea. We started a group in India. We started a group in Russia. We have our Twitter, in Portuguese, that is managed by a friend of mine that is Brazilian. We work together in another project, and he's translating everything to Portuguese. So like we're really universal. Like the information is there for everyone.
I'm looking at some of these questions and I'm laughing. We got Sam going wild. I just want to make sure that I've already said it in the comments, but anybody who knows, these things they're like an open book. This is nothing formal. This is just like Fred and Tom are some of the realest guys I know. So if you ever want to just come up and have a chat and mess around, we encourage you to do that. But I did want to ask one of the questions to you, Fred, and this is actually from Sam, and it's the most upvoted question. He was curious about how are the artists verified?
In the case, we will have a KYA in the platform when we'll start to get art, because why we created a group of featured artists, because we know the origin of the art, so we know them, we're working with them on daily basis, and we know that what they are doing is theirs. So we don't have any copyright or provenance issue with the featured artists. They are 100% already verified. From the moment we will have artists submitting art to the platform, we'll have a KYA. So we need to prove that the work is yours, that you produced it, that you have the copyright on your stuff. So you need to go through some conventions to be able to join the platform.
That's fantastic. Very cool. I'm going to drop a question. Somebody's asking, this is Martin from Trybe 1, is asking, in the art house, will it include photography or just drawings and paintings?
Any kind of creative media.
Cool. I love it.
It depends on
it'll just be visual media for the moment, Fred, or are you going to include include sound, music?
I don't know if you're familiar with Fiverr. This online platform where you can get voiceover, animation, logos, backgrounds, whatever. So music. It depends on the artist. So the artist will register and will start to sell his work over there. So any kind of creative media and visual art.
Yeah. So a bit like Redbubble. I don't know if you know the website Redbubble.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or Fiverr. You name it. The difference will be that first will be a crypto-backed platform with our own token, so Pixeos will be there, and I think it will be more. The UI will be cooler. You have a cooler UI, a cooler way to interact, a dashboard to follow up your NFTs. The artist, let's say that you have an artist that wants to generate, for example, photography. The guy wants to sell 1,000 copies of that photo. So he will generate 1,000 NFTs, and he can track the use and where it's being published and who is the owner. So it will solve also a lot of stock image issues that we have in the online today.
Yeah.
So you'll not only sell the image, you sell the image with a certificate, with metadata, with all the information about it. That's cool.
And is there some way that that system will be able to track, if I steal I steal a copy of someone's work, say you put it up on your website and I just download it onto my drive and then I upload it onto my website without paying for it. Is there some sort of system check for that or communicate back?
Yeah, we have ideas about it. At first, I didn't want to deal with the image itself, so I wanted to keep onto the NFT parts that you generate the NFT, and then you only transmit property when you transfer your NFT to the next wallet. We didn't go too deep on that, but that's possible. Right now with the D-Goods, we're figuring out that we can actually have more information than only text metadata. So we'll be able to have thumbnails within the NFT. I'm not sure about big images or big files yet, but I also got to know that in the last D-Goods Q&A. We ended up knowing that maybe you can even store an MP3 file within your NFT, and it will be possible in the future to visualize or listen to it from the wallets, from the mobile wallets, and that's why we have Scatter and Token Pockets right now on the goods. So I think like what we'll bring to the table with this NFT standard is just incredible. It's incredible. It will solve so many problems, and will bring so many cool use cases for blockchain.
I want to dig into that a little bit. Before I do so, Craig from Warbly actually asked, like, where would he go to store art? And then I want to dig into the DGood standard, because of course we have an interview coming up next week with you, myself, Rudy from Mythical Games, NS James, Token Pocket, and some of the heavy hitters here. So, but I guess it'd just be an online store on your site. Is that where you would go to purchase the art, Fred? Is that how it works? It's just essentially you go online, you can purchase with EOS.
To purchase?
Yeah, if you wanted to buy some digital artwork, if you wanted to buy a digital asset, that would just be inside of the store on the Pixeos site that you would pay for in EOS. Is that how it works?
EOS or Pixeos?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Of course. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. You want to use the token.
And we don't know about EOS yet, so that's something that we're still studying. Let's see how the traction that we get with the platform, with the Pixeos Paint. Let's see the traction that we get with our My Pixeos shop, and all of that. We'll see. Our idea is to have as much Pixeos in circulation within the platform as possible. So, and that's also something that the stakers, the guys that they're just staking Pixeos, they need to know that everything that we're doing, we're sharing the profit with them. So 25% of our profit will be given back to the stakers. So the more you hold Pixeos, and for the longer you hold Pixeos, so if you wait for the whole platform to be implemented, in the end you have dividends from Pixeos Paint, from the art house, from the My Pixeos shop, from the gallery, from the auction house, and from anything that will develop after that, because our roadmap doesn't stop there. So we have already cool 3D stuff in the pipeline for the second part of the year. There are some very cool stuff. Other games.
Can I just ask you there, Fred? Are you worried at all? You know, I mean, you mentioned dividends on the Pixeos token. Are you at all worried about Pixeos being classified as a security token, or the SEC's obviously, doesn't take too kindly to that kind of using crypto as security in that sense? I mean, are you worried about that, or how are you getting around that issue, or what's your take on that?
We did. It's a little bit premature first, and secondly, you have so many utilities in the platform where you use the tokens for. So dividends is a small part. Like, I wouldn't call it dividends. We have rewards for people that they hold the tokens, because most of our 98%, they are utilities. You're using the token to paint. You're getting the tokens you're using the token to buy something in the platform. So you have the My Pixeos shop where you use Pixeos to buy goods. Then you generate the NFTs. You pay people service with Pixeos. So there are many utilities in the platform, and I think it's people, they talk a lot about security and so on. Everything is a security.
It is. In essence,
the world, any asset.
Yeah. I know.
Security.
That's what I was actually about.
If we'll start with this, I can go so much further and so deeper in that, and people will be really upset with me, because everything is security in that sense. But in our platform, the token is an utility token with many utilities that I can prove, and we've been going through this with our legal, like, back and forth, even before the sale. In our sale document, it was pretty clear, and everything was pretty well designed by our legal team.
100%.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. Like, everything out there that pays out dividend, like, you can have that argument with absolutely everything in the space. Me personally, I'm hoping that the SEC finally pulls their head out of their ass, recognizes crypto as a digital asset, and just, I mean, everybody's scared to death. And I don't just mean, people are scared to death out there. And I don't think that the SEC is going to go around and dig at projects in specific that I think that we're going to see some changes in the laws in the next few years, because otherwise, I mean, people in crypto doing what they're doing. I think we're going to need to.
And
I really hope so. I mean, if you know, if you have a house and you rent out your house, you know, and you're getting dividends from your house, if you have a car and you rent out your car, I mean, does that mean that, you know, you're breaking some sort of securities laws? Like for, you know, any other asset, you're allowed to generate income from that asset, you know, passively or actively. And I don't quite understand why crypto. I mean, I suppose it's to protect companies who have gone through and spent lots of money on IPO and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. They, you know, they don't want to tread on their toes, but yeah, it just seems like a strange, a crazy definition. I mean, a crazy distinction between.
Definition, because everything that touches as an exchange is a security. So everything that the people they expect that will get you an exchange and will raise in price, it is a security. It can be a dog. If I put a dog in an exchange, I buy it for $100. I put the dog in the exchange and I sell it for 150. And I'm very happy with the profit, and it's an exchange. It's a security. So it's hypocrite that the guys that they come, and I had plenty of people coming, you're selling securities and you're doing this and you're good. No, the SEC is worried right now with the scams, with people that they came like they came last year. And all these vaporware projects, and I had many people come to our group and pointing the fingers to us, and you're doing everything wrong because I analyzed 100 ICOs before. The 100 ICOs didn't deliver a product. Yeah, right. 100 ICOs didn't deliver a product, and they got 10 million. Don't deliver a project.
Let's talk about the DIG standard
before delivering a project. That is another thing that we're not doing. We're not listing anytime soon. So all our community knows that Pixeos will list when it's time to list. So we'll stabilize the platform, we'll get volume, we'll get products out, we'll get my Pixeos shop out, we'll get probably the auction house out. And when we see that we have enough staked and enough hold, then eventually we will take care of that. We have many exchange partners. They're all amazing. They're supporting us big deal in consulting. Like we're asking them about the token price and how it will be, the right time to list it, because we also don't believe in some practices from the past that you can actually create liquidity doing some stuff. So we implemented our own rebuy or buyback policy. So we are going and buying back the token. So we're not paying anyone to generate liquidity for us. This is 100% the Pixeos strategy. So we're doing things in an organic way. If it works, wonderful, and we hope that it works, because there's a lot of studies and analysis that we're doing, everything, studying other projects, and we have a lot of shards in front of us, a lot of counts. We've analyzed all these the DApp tokens from the moment that they hit the exchanges. We looked at DICE, we looked at FAST, we looked at all the others, EOS bets, and we've seen how they behaved, because our biggest example, unfortunately or fortunately, is the gambling dApps, because they're doing right when it comes to token mechanics.
Sure. I want to walk past that for a little bit, and I want to ask you about this DGOOD standard that we've all been talking about. Of course, that was something that Rudy was talking about for a long time for Mythical Games, and you guys have all kind of banded together. I think, Fred, like a lot of people hear a lot of these terms like NFT, fungible, non-fungible, and nobody really kind of has a grasp on what exactly this actually means to the EOS community. Yeah, I'm on the train, man.
Vaping or vaporware? Vaping.
What is
the question again? Because I cannot do the two things at the same time. I was reading, I cannot listen to you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the DGOOD standard, man. Like, if you were talking to somebody who didn't understand crypto, how would you kind of make the differentiation in between what you can now do with this standard as opposed to what you couldn't before? Remember, let's say you're talking to like a 12-year-old niece, or maybe you're talking to somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience with crypto. What kind of possibilities does this bring?
Yeah, the biggest use, like one very nice use, and I will not use art. I'll use a sport ticket. Like you're going to this big match, this final, and you used to buy the tickets, and normally you would buy, someone would deliver, or you would print it, or you would get in the counter and get your tickets. There was a lot of counter fate tickets before, right? And they're very good guys, even with the technology right now, with the QRs and all of that. There are guys that they do it very, very well. There are schemes with the people in the door that will allow someone to come with a fake ticket. There are many things going on that we don't like to talk about. But these with an NFT would end immediately, because you issue a ticket, it gets transferred to your wallet, and you can only get in if you show your NFT. And that's a unique and immutable blockchain asset, right? So you cannot fake it in any ways. So that is one use case for it. With the art, with the provenance, is something that is the use case is incredible, because before you had a paper certificate stamped by an institution, it could get burned, could get lost, could get stolen. From the moment that you have in your wallet, as long as your wallet is secure, no one can steal your provenance certificate. So you're the only one that can prove that artwork is yours. Then it's immutable in the blockchain, more immortalized in the blockchain. So you're solving many of the real world problems. And there's a lot of cases. I'm not pretty deep into the game uses, because we have the biggest specialists in the space, Mythical Games, dealing with it. But they will solve also many things. Like we've been talking, like you could render your 3D assets within the token. So if you you make a sword and you back it by an NFT, you could even render it there, not only proving that asset is yours and is a collectible in the game asset, but also you could visualize it and render in 2D or 3D within the wallet, which is incredible.
That is incredible.
That is super cool.
It almost puts it puts real ownership on blockchain assets and in player token economies and in art and all that kind of stuff. Like you can actually tangible proof that you own that asset, that it is yours, or that you created it, or whatever type of metadata you want to be able to attach. It just makes the blockchain a more viable transportation or storage vehicle, let's call it, for people's actual property, intellectual property.
I think also part of that, part of the promise of that as well is the ability to transfer assets between games, isn't it? So you can create an asset in one game, and if it's on the blockchain, then any game can access that blockchain if they all use the same blockchain. Saying you could actually transfer an asset from World of Warcraft, and use it over in another game, and it would have sort of similar properties, or it would have similar value, etc. So I think that's also one of the cool things that you could do with it, with the blockchain-based game assets.
Yeah, Fred, I want to ask you about the future, man. So right now somebody had actually asked, they wanted to know, and I'm not going to put you on the spot for this because I could probably tell them the answer. You're going live when you're going live, right? Is probably the best answer for that, because somebody had asked when.
No, I'm waiting. I was waiting for some news here from the devs. That's why I was looking at the phone. I'll put some question marks here. Maybe we'll have some news in the upcoming minutes.
What does the future hold, man? So you've got the first game. What's the direction of the platform moving forward to keep it sustainable?
We have the first game. We as you know, we didn't make this huge unicorn sale, so we got enough to launch what we needed to launch. So and we're implementing, and we will deliver a lot of stuff. We really hope that the platform will be successful and that people will actually use the platform, and the platform will have some volume. We want also, for the future, it is very important for us, and we're already working to partner up with other crypto art projects. So I've been talking with many people in the space that would eventually team up with us. I'm sure that right now with D-Goods, things will move much faster with those because they're tired. I've been talking to people that they're holding NFT standards in other blockchains, and it's pretty annoying. It's super slow, super complicated. Many people, they're backing art, most expensive art or crypto art, they're backed by Bitcoin NFTs. So there's zero technology compared to what we have in yes. Okay, so Ethereum is also very complicated. You have very complicated standards. Right now, you have D-Goods standards. You don't have E7533 ES standard. No, you have D-Goods. What is your token standard? Your NFT token standard? It's D-Goods. It's not N 7533, right? So we're innovating so much in all this metadata and the speed of transaction, how fast you can buy an artwork, and 3 or 5 seconds later, you have the NFT transfer to the next owner. While if you do it with Bitcoin, the guy would be sitting down in the gallery, like having lunch and dinner, right?
Waiting an hour.
The price of the value of the asset,
Maybe more.
the value of the asset
Dude,
could drop by half by the time he receives it.
Exactly. So no. It's time to, like, if you want real world use cases, you need to use a blockchain that allows for that. There's a lot that we need to evolve, and we should, like big deal, be supporting the mainnet and the BPs, the hardworking BPs, to make the changes that are necessary. And I think 2019 will be an amazing year. We will see so much happening this year for years.
What does your average day look like, Fred? Like, what do you, like, how hard are you working these days? What is like from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed look like? Like, how, you know, what's
I don't have a moment to wake up and a moment to go to bed. So like
it's all the same.
We're still
it's one long continuum.
Like since November, I'm working as I need to work. Like, it's nonstop. We have so much to produce. We're producing so much, so awesome art. Right now, we're working the banners for the wallets, and to talk with the wallets, you need to wait a little bit more. Like, we were ready, but we're not ready anymore. So we're dealing with some vulnerabilities. You cannot launch the DApp URL. So there's so much going on. We have contests all over. So we have the Pixeos Rama contest that is a giant digital canvas. It's not. It's an off-chain initiative that we're doing. Like, people, they can create their PNG assets. And Reinhard, that is one painter, one of our featured artists, amazing painter. He created a huge background, and we want to populate it like it will be the Pixeos world. So everyone can create an asset, and we'll put it together, and then we'll make an API in our platform, and it will be interactive. You have the name of all the people that contributed, and we're aiming to build up the biggest crypto collective art work ever done. So we're just starting. Dapp.com launched the first challenge that we have a contest in their platform, and we'll continue after that. So we'll start with that, and then any artist, anyone that wants to draw something and make a nice PNG and send to us, we'll put it in the giant canvas. Then we have a physical contest that is huge. We're waiting for the right time to launch it. I've been talking to Dallas from Karma.
Nice.
We'll probably launch it together, and it's a charitable artsy contest that the artist needs to invite a charitable institution to build up a physical art installation that will be backed later on by a D-Goods, in this case NFT. So you could actually own a physical art installation that will be done, I don't know, somewhere in the world, and will be backed by D-Goods NFT or D-Goods Pixeos NFT. So, and the prizes will be incredible. Like, we're really sharing like part of what we get. So the artists and the charitable institution will get a very, very nice prize in EOS for that. We're still to launch this initiative. So there's so much going on. Like, Pixeos is a movement. It's not only a platform in the EOS blockchain. So we want people to see that is a movement of bringing the crypto art to the masses, then to make people come and start using the blockchain and seeing that it's actually a lot of fun. It's not that difficult. It's more simple to create an EOS account than to buy in Amazon. For me, it's easier. So yeah,
absolutely.
That's what we need to get people to know and to understand.
I mean, it goes back to that whole like adoption thing, right? Like, and don't get me wrong, like I've been invested in crypto for a long time, and when I talk to my friends, they look at me like I've got 5 heads. But if we don't start building stuff that applies to real people that are going to make the average Joe come in off the street and take an interest in what blockchain is capable of doing and in the ways that it can enhance our life, then we're not going anywhere. Yeah. That's why I'm so passionate about the project and some of the stuff that you're doing, because I see that connection. You don't have to be a blockchain guy. You don't have to know about all these different protocols. You just have to love art. You can come in, you can hang out, you can be creative, and you can hang out with like-minded people who are after the same thing. And that's really where I find the beauty in Pixeos.
Because this is the future, is to bring products to the people.
Yeah.
It's not people, because most of the people I talk about, they're afraid of crypto because they see as this highly speculative market where you buy something expecting it to grow up. No, it's blockchain. It's technology that can be used for real world stuff and will solve problems that you have that you didn't know how to solve before. But we were focusing in making all these crazy protocols. And another thing that I do, that I used to say, like, we need to be better in crypto than the world out there. And we are not knowing how to do it. Like, we're just building stuff because we're building. We're not looking that, can I do better than that guy that has a $20 billion company and is earning a whole lot of money in technology out there? Can I be better than him? Can my UI be better? My UX be better? Can I have a better business model than that guy has in blockchain? We're not doing that. We're just doing something. Let's do something. Like, with all the side, like, I respect a lot the side chains, right?
Yep.
But I support 100% the mainnet, because I understand that a 8 or 9 months old blockchain that did what Diaz did, we don't need all of those popping side chains right now. Like, we have amazing ones that they started and they are from the beginning, like Warbly, like Telos, and so on. And that's it. We need 1, 2, 3 very good side chains to suit some problems and to work together for adoption and blockchain technology. But we don't, it's enough. Like, every day someone humble, did you see about that? Did you find those tokens? No, I didn't, and I will not do it. You should. The other day, one guy came to our group and told, like, completely new sidechain. I never heard about it. And I'm talking the sidechain meetup in Israel. Like, I'm traveling to Israel on Sunday. So we're 100% supportive to the main first ones, but in my opinion is enough. Like, we need to grow together with these solid projects and stop the cash grab of launching new side chains and
here's the way
advertising for me.
Can I just ask, sorry, change the topic just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
But how are people going to interact with Pixeos? If they're is it just going to be through a web browser? Are you guys going to create a desktop app? Is it you're going to create a mobile app? I mean, how?
All the dApps, they will interact through the ID systems and the mobile wallets.
Okay.
So you just connect your Scatter and or your Token Pocket or your Math wallet or Lynx wallet. It doesn't matter. It will work with all the ID system, like a dApp. Like, all our components will be dApps.
Okay, you're not thinking about creating a mobile app, like, specifically, or a desktop app. I mean, I just think, I love Scatter. Obviously, it's a super cool product, but I know that regular users have trouble with it, and we've experienced this on Trybe even, that people kind of have trouble not installing Scatter, but then setting up their keys within Scatter and connecting to et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, it's not that difficult. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it, but it's definitely a step which a lot of people maybe would have trouble with. And I was just sort of wondering, how you saw Pixeos overcoming that, that problem, or
we have some plans for it in the future. It's a bit premature to be talking about. For now, we will connect as all the other devs. As time allows and our dev team has more time to focus on it, like, we've been checking a lot of stuff that can be improved in the ecosystem, and we plan. It's not that easy, but when you get into the implementation and deployment phase, you see that there are many more challenges than what you expect. But there are many things that can be improved, and I think that other dApps, they're doing an amazing job on improving and solving that. So Dice is one of those. Like, they're full steam to mass adoption and simplifying the access to their dApp, and we plan to do the same. So keep on studying and the best way to improve the user experience and to make people's life easier to interact with the dApps.
Yeah. Do you think someone's going to come out soon with a browser? Maybe even Nathan James, like maybe even Scatter would do it. Come out with a browser that already has integrated. Your wallet is already integrated into the browser, just like with Token Pocket or Lynx, like on the mobile device. You just create the account inside the browser, and then it's automatically connected, and you don't have to go through that process of creating it on one site and connecting it, in another application. Like, it's all in the one kind of tool.
Yeah, and also this private key moving from one side to the other bothers a lot of people, and I think that we should focus in something that will be more automatized. Like, you want to create your account, so the system will handle all the situation for you, and you will download the JSON or something to store it, but the whole system will do it. So you go there, you don't need to copy and paste. You don't need to put it here and put in there. So, and this is possible. This is technically possible. We just need to spend enough time studying and implementing this kind of stuff. So that's what we also aim. Like in due time, like there's nothing we can promise at this stage because like we're in the critical stage of launching our first app. But after that, when we stabilize, when we have our team of developers a little bit more free to create, so like we want to look into those aspects. And right now, without teaming up with all these wallets that we're teaming up, like Token Pocket's being amazing to us from day one. So there's a lot of stuff that we can actually do together. So we just need to deploy the platform and have users and have it stabilized, and then we'll think about the other stuff. It's in the pipeline. It's something that we've been talking and thinking about to simplify the user experience and the access to the EOS ecosystem.
Just a couple of thoughts on my behalf. Number one, I'm going to go back to it because I don't care. The chain thing, I think any chains that add benefit to the system, to the ecosystem, that can work cohesively are fantastic. Anything that's parasitic, I'm not with. If it works well with the OSIO and transacts and can actually complement each other, go team. Mm-hmm. But if it's something that's more parasitic, I'm not so into it. That being said, I want to talk about scatter. Like, I think that everybody forgets, like, how long ago did we actually launch EOS? Think about all the things that NS James has even done with that thing. Do you remember when you were first setting up scatter? Remember how insane that was? Like,
yeah, I think what we need to create is a depth to exercise patience.
Yeah,
it's something we learned in my life, because, right? I even have the breathe in my watch that every couple of, when I'm starting to get too anxious, I just stop and I breathe for a moment, right? So what we need to teach to the crypto world is like to exercise patience. But I also understand why are they so impatient? Because we've been dealing with crap for over a year or for 2 years, right? So when you're dealing with crap that is like, it's coming soon, we'll do it soon, hold tight, and it takes 6 months for you to sit down and hold tight with a company that people just invested 20 million on it, and they're not able to deliver something in 6 months, it's complicated. One thing is the 48 hours, 1 week delay, and you deliver. The other thing is when you invest $20 million in a company that never delivers and they keep on telling soon, soon, soon. So I understand that people, they don't have that patience anymore because they still didn't know, they didn't figure out that we are in the depth era where things are delivered much faster and they need to be delivered in hyper speed because they depend on the users. It's already a use case kind of development. So you already have users using the dApps, and you can see in EOS like is the most used blockchain right now for dApps. People, they can say, but it's gambling. Okay, but it's something that actually works. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. We're proving that blockchain works, right? And we just need to be a little bit more creative in the projects from now on. We need to create things like Karma that people will use, like Pixeos that people will use. There are many things coming out that they are changing a little bit this paradigm of the betting. But the betting platforms, they did something amazing for the blockchain world. They proved that you can actually have token mechanics, functional token mechanics, and you can have tokenomics. And you can actually interact with it and move, and they have a smart economy where the token is used somehow and goes in and goes out and it gets staked, so it's held into the platform, and it's not something that it's very complicated to get adoption. Yeah, because I've seen amazing projects with amazing concepts and they were like really good, but then in the outside world you have 10 projects that are 100 times more funded and better in many aspects of the business side of it than the crypto. So that's really complicated when you want to compete with like big deal companies that they know what they're doing and they have a huge structure and they already have a monthly huge revenue for what they are doing. This $20 million will not solve your problem. It's not going to save you. So we need just to try to do better.
And how long does it take? Do you know what I mean? I mean, Scatter has come so far in 6 months, and all the technology has come so far. Right? It's incredible.
What they did,
everybody,
it's incredible.
It's like,
it's incredible. Like, with the atomic swaps, there's so many stuff that we like. What they did is like simply incredible in the time lapse that they actually did. And actually, he is what he is doing, what Shintai is doing, like all these amazing projects, what they've been doing, like such a short time. It's amazing. We should see that. I've been reading threads in people discussing and arguing in Twitter, like Bitcoin is better than EOS and Ethereum and this, and they go back and forth. And right now is not the time to measure how long or how big it is. It's the time to see what functions and what works.
I think something you just said a minute ago, Fred, is really interesting. And I think lots of sort of crypto companies don't realize that they are competing with all of these massive existing companies. And when you build something in crypto, you can't just build it with a crypto audience in mind. You know, you have to build it. You have to build it thinking about, you know, a wider audience, because in the end, you're going to have to compete with these existing things. And just people aren't going to use it just because it's built on the blockchain or just because it's built using crypto. I mean, people are going to use it because they love using it, you know, because it's got a great UI, because it does something cool. It's not just people aren't just going to go, oh, I'm going to use your app because it uses crypto. Like, who cares? Like, not who cares. I mean, some people care, but most people won't care. You know,
most people, they don't care. We're pretty small. If we see the crypto world right now, and mainly after bear market, like where many, like hundreds of thousands left, we need people from the outside. We need to be cool. We need to be cool. I was having a convo in our price channel, because we had a very toxic price channel that were created by trolls, some nice guys, some not so nice guys, some fudders, and then our real true supporters, they created a new price channel. And it was what I was telling, like crypto needs to stop to be this place of freaks and paranoid people and like stalkers, and because we see a lot of problems with the crypto crowd. Like, we need to start to have girls around, right? We cannot like spook all the girls because we are a bunch of freaks, right? We need to start acting cool. We need to see like cool guys like us, like we're talking, like we give our faces and so on. It's not this guy that is like shooting around everywhere, and you see like all these rants in all the groups when something goes wrong. No, man, let's make it cool. And one thing that I love about EOS is that it's a very, very cool blockchain. It's a very, very cool blockchain. You see a lot of like interesting people. You meet a lot of interesting people around. You can have any kind of conversation. You have people showing their faces. You have people like Rob that is doing videos and talking about stuff like you. You're always out there. You're not afraid to talk about crypto because there's nothing to be afraid of. The guys that should be afraid of something is the guys that they fucked up last year. So.
Can I just ask you one other question, Fred, about sort of, you know, this sort of ongoing battle, I think, really between centralization and decentralization in the blockchain space. Mm-hmm. And, you know, how does Pixeos fit in that? You know, are you aiming to become a completely decentralized app, or is it sort of going to continually be something which is controlled by a centralized company, or sort of where do you see the future as far as that's concerned?
Good question. What do I would talk about that a little bit. Personally, I would say I don't care.
Yes,
actually, we don't care. I'm not close. So I need to be decentralized because decentralized is cool and is against the governments, against this, against that. No, we want to give the best user experience ever. We want to keep having cool people in our group creating stuff for us, for themselves, to have fun, to spend time, to learn something new. Like we did the gift contest, and we put out a tutorial in YouTube for people to learn how to make gifts. A lot of people did the gift for the first time. We have no idea, but in some countries, GIF is a way to communicate much more than words. So we did GIF wars in our group, and a lot of people, they love to communicate through GIF. So we need to be cool. It doesn't matter if it's centralized, decentralized. I think there is a lot of complex in the space. We need to lose the complex that I need to be decentralized, because I remember that someone told me that Ripple was made for the banks and is 100% centralized. So then I kept that concept in my mind. So we need to open our minds. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if it's centralized or decentralized. It needs to bring adoption. It needs to work. It needs to function. It needs to be like something that will be useful for people. And what I say, it needs to do good. It's something that I always had this dream of doing something where I could share something with people and make something meaningful. right? And that's why the profit sharing. That's why from day one in our group we're doing contests and we're giving Pixeos to people through contests, through airdrops. We have the raindrop that every multiple of 100 that gets in our group gets the proportional amount of Pixeos to the number of that person that just joined, and so on. So we need to first be better beings and do better, and try to help people to feel better, to do coolest stuff, and to have a nice ambience. Like, we never had a bear market in our group. No one ever commented about, Bitcoin, oh, I need to sell my house, I'm going to kill myself. And I'm in a lot of ICOs groups, and I see the negativity. It's incredible. There are people that are actually losing their minds because of crypto, and it's enough of that. So we need positivity. We need to do good. We need to share, and we need to be cool, as cool as we can. When we'll be super cool, people will come to crypto. They will see, oh, these guys are super cool, man. Wow, these guys, they know what they're talking about. They're interesting people to talk with, because we feel be free and nerds that we don't talk with anyone. We don't do cool stuff. No one will talk with us. No one wants to hang out with us. It's the same. You go out, you want to meet people, you need to be cool. Like Matt.
I think you're right. And I think, to be honest, I think, as you said before, like, EOS is a cool blockchain, and there are lots of cool projects building on EOS. You know, there are, and not only cool projects, but projects from people who want to actually do good in the world. You know, they don't just want to, they're not just in it for the money or for whatever reason. You know, they're actually out there trying to make a positive difference. And I actually feel that probably comes from the top down. Like, you know, I feel like, I don't know Dan Larimer personally, but, you know, from what I've seen of him, he seems to be interested in actually creating something which is going to do good in the world. And that's kind of filtered down through all the projects, you know, or most of the projects on EOS, and a lot of the people in the EOS community. And there is a lot of positivity in the EOS community in general.
There is a lot of it's amazing. It's amazing to hang out. Most of the BPs groups, you always have this toxic 2 or 3 guys, but like 98% of the people is super cool. Like, he's a super cool blockchain. The groups and we are united. You know a lot of people. You go to the groups and you already know the people. Like, you feel like, I feel in EOS like I'm living in a cool city, right? I go to this part and I hang out with Matt, and then I go and I hang out with Tom somewhere else, and then I have this girl that is always talking in this channel, and everyone knows Katie from EOS Asia and Stella Bell, and we already have like a very, very cool community that we can find the people in all the groups. We just need to make it grow a little bit and show that how cool we are, that we can accept more people there, and then to clean the space a little from the freaks, because I see a lot of like very evil and naughty behavior towards projects, and some people, they're really naughty. Like, I had situations in many groups where like we were being attacked in the wall, like for nothing, like just because we were doing a sale, or because we decided to shift the sale bonus to benefit the community. So when some people, when they don't understand something, they take it like really wildly, you know, like, because I don't understand, you're doing everything wrong, and I'm going to put you down, I'm going to hunt you down, I'm going to kill you, I hate you forever, right? So these need to end. This needs to stop. I dealt with it like a couple of times. Hopefully we have an amazing community. They're always backing us up. But yeah, that there's some sort of toxicity in the space that needs to end. They need to understand that everyone's trying to develop and deliver something good. No one's trying to. And our example is not like, if people will tell you made a sale, our sale comparing with the ICO world, like, is ridiculous, right? So everyone can see that is enough to develop and to make the marketing that we've been making. So everything that we're getting, we're spending in the project.
Yeah. You know why people attack you? Because it's easier to attack you than to build real shit and do something productive. And on the theme of decentralization versus centralization, even Daniel Larimer himself had said, decentralization is not what we're after. I'm pro whatever is effective, and so is he. He wants robustness from being shut down. And
exactly. There's no philosophy whatsoever. Blockchain is not a religion.
No, man.
Blockchain is technology. We need to make the best technology possible, right? So centralized, decentralized, like, and I think that the full decentralization, like some other blockchains praised in other times, it brings a little bit to anarchy, and it brings a little bit to not being cool and to being a freak, because I can be an anarchist, I can be the anonymous guy that I do whatever I do, I bash everyone, I draw penises, giant penises in the pixel canvas, because no one knows who I am. right?
So it's not only anarchy. Also, I mean, it also leads to stuff not getting done because people, you know, if you don't have a defined leader who's like, this is what we're doing, then everyone's fighting about, should we do this, should we do that? No one takes a lead basically, and no one has the control or the power to take that lead and go, okay, this is what we're doing, guys. Like, get on board. You know, like you were saying before, you know, as your role as CEO of Pixeos or any sort of business that you do, you have to motivate people to do stuff. You have to get everyone on board. Like, come on, guys, like, this is what we're doing, and, you know, let's go and do it. And yeah, if you don't have someone doing that all the time, stuff just doesn't get done. Like, you know, just people spend all day arguing about it, and then that, you know, nothing actually happens.
Just arguing about it. The full decentralization profits. Everything's manipulated in their decentralized world. So you have pools of mining that they manipulate their coin. You have the whales that they manipulate their coins. So it's not decentralized. It's very centralized. And there's why they're wrecked. There's why they're complaining. That's why they're crying. Because it's centralized somehow. So there's a system that controls the decentralized system that they so much praise. Right? So from the moment that you implement the BP system, then it's not perfect. There is a lot of things to be improved. I can be talking here. I'm very blunt. I will tell everything I think about vote buying, about the VIP groups, the brotherhoods, all this stuff that they work for some time because it's a young blockchain. But as we get adoption, the good guys will prevail. And the guys that work hard, the guys that they want to bring the masses, that they respect the users, that they're not there for quick cash grab in 6 or 7 or 10 months. No, they're there to build something and to bring more people to the blockchain. Because if you think about ES, we're very small. Like what we have, 700,000 accounts, 1 million accounts. How many of those accounts are from the same user? If I gave like 2,000 accounts and I had at least 10 guys stealing 100 accounts for themselves. So from these amount of accounts that we have, how many are legit from an individual, right? We probably have 200,000 accounts or 300,000 accounts that they're biased because they belong to the same pool of people that they're using them for something, right? For the scripts, for the bots, for whatever. So there's a lot we need to evolve for us to get adoption. Is to change the core of the community, is to clean it up a bit. To slowly, these people will fall down because they expose themselves. It's not. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to say names or anything. The time will come when everyone will realize that is biased. So there is an expiring date for evil.
I hope you're right, Fred. I really hope you're right. It hasn't worked in politics yet, but you know, let's hope it works in EOS.
Yeah, but maybe like I'm an ideologist, and probably that's what's going to happen in the blockchain, because we are corrupt beings. So
we are. But it doesn't
matter in what, in which.
Is a great idea. Decentralization, if it works, is fine. I'm not opposed to decentralization, and I'm not pro decentralization. I'm not pro centralization. I'm pro whatever the hell works, and whatever works for each system.
You're exactly like me. Whatever the hell works. Whatever the hell people use.
Yes. What's the best?
Whatever I have a good time hanging out with people in the place I'm using the tech. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Like
what works.
If it doesn't work, you will die with your ideology. It's as I said, it's not religion. It's technology. Pure technology needs to work. Technology to work need users. Nothing that is tech can be the best tech in the world if the guy is not skilled enough to put it into the hands of people that will promote it and get users for the tech. It's worth zero. Right? So we need awesome tech. We need decentralization, centralization, whatever it is. But most of all, we need users. As many users as we can get. So,
and I think, you know, as you were saying, I mean, in the end, you know, nice user interfaces, like, look what Apple has done for the tech world. Like, everybody, you know, they made, and why? Because Apple is beautiful. I mean, all their products are beautiful. People love using them, and that's just taken everything mainstream because, you know, people love using those products. I mean, when you had that old BlackBerry or whatever it was ugly, did anyone want a smartphone? No, because they were ugly as hell. As soon as the iPhone came out, everyone on the planet wanted a smartphone because they were like the coolest thing, you know, in town. Yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody here and everybody who's probably watching and everybody who may watch in the future agrees with one thing, that what it's all about right now is just it's building applications that reach out to different people in various groups to bring them into blockchain, while maybe even masking the element of blockchain, turning people around from some of their preconceived perception about blockchain because of all the garbage that we read in the news, and just educating people that this can do some really interesting things financially, culturally, and just in terms of like easing use cases for products we already have out there. Whatever we bring has to be better than what's existing. And I think that that's really what matters. It has to be more inclusive, it has to be more interesting, and it has to be better than what's already existing. We're not putting stuff on blockchain just to put it on blockchain. There has to be a use for it, and that use has to surpass the quality of what's currently in existence. And I think that we all...
And that's exactly what the gambling dApps are doing. They're making like they're bringing something that you need to go to a casino to do. And right now you need to log in with your scatter and you can do the same, right? And you can do it in an awesome way with a nice UX, with nice UI, and it works, and you see your funds moving back and forth, and you token, the native token has a utility, and like DICE, you deal with how many tokens you can wager there. So there's multiple tokens from the ecosystem. So they're also contributing to the ecosystem. They're contributing with our project. We got to 24,000 plus the token holders and wallets, and I would say like 500 to 1,000 thanks to DICE, because people they're wagering Pixeos there, because Pixeos is not in the market. So it's a way to acquire and to get Pixeos is using DICE, right? So they're also making the tokens from the ecosystem more popular and spreading them to thousands of wallets. So these guys are doing right. They're getting something from the real world. They're doing it in the blockchain that allows them the speed that they need, and the robust blockchain that would allow them to use the tech to do what they do, and they are doing awesome. So awesome that Tron is copying in Ethereum. They're trying to copy, but it's really complicated. It will never roll like it rolls. But everyone's copying what's going on. Like DICE is a huge example. You have so many platforms popping in the other blockchains that can handle that because of DICE. So they just created a new reality for blockchain use, and that's where we need to focus. Supply chain is so important. Like people should be focusing in building apps and dApps that would deal with supply chain. You have so many fields in the world that could use blockchain technology to solve problems of product origin, all the whole process from like fishes, for example, from the moment it comes out from the boat of the fisherman until after your body processes the vitamins and the benefits that it has in your body. We already have this technology in the blockchain. We just need people looking at these use cases, looking out there, not inside, and bringing stuff and applying them into the blockchain technology, because an immutable record of anything that you can transact, not only financial, is very important. You solve many problems in the real world. The thing is that people, they also don't want to do it, because in any process you have like vicious people benefiting from one of the stages of the process. In the moment that you put in the blockchain, you cannot change it anymore. You cannot change the numbers. You cannot bribe anyone. You cannot. You understand what I mean? So we'll always deal with this challenge that we have something that is so precise and so well protected when you put in the blockchain that you would be dealing with you'll be harming a lot of people that don't want to be harmed, and they're very powerful.
Which is beautiful. Which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Which is a beautiful thing. Which is that it's what we would need to do, and we should be doing right now, is to use this technology to solve these problems and actually prove and go knock on the door of big companies and big corporations and tell, I have the solution for a problem that you probably have. It's already tested and it's already here, and here's the technology. I would like to present it to you. And I don't need $20 million for it, because I know that if it will work, I'll get much more than that, because I'll be solving a problem that you have for ages, right? So, and we have the technology in our hands. We just need to find a use case and focus more in the world, what the world out there needs, and not replicate what is already being done. And I think this is a little bit the success of Pixeos. Like, we got something that is art, and we brainstormed over how we could actually slowly, first with the game in blockchain, like adapt, and then bringing more use cases and talking to museums and real artists and galleries to back their stuff with NFTs, and finally solving the provenance problems.
Love it. Fred, I know you're trying to launch a product today, so it's you told me you only had an hour. We're running on to an hour and 20 right now.
I'm kidding. My break.
I love it.
I'm always
I know.
It's a pleasure to talk with you guys. This format is very, very nice because I don't like to prepare. So I'm the guy that if I will make a presentation, I never prepare. So I'll fail. I'll fail. And with you, it's cool because it's like a conversation with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, really great to meet you, Fred. You know, really cool to chat. And Matt, as always, you know, it's always a pleasure, even though we chat every day. But yeah, no, it's really nice to meet you. And yeah, thanks for a great conversation.
No, and thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for Trybe support with us. Like, we're like really humbled with all the support, with how you guys been handling our publications and so on. It's been amazing. We also want to support as much as we can your growth and help as much as we can and unite.
It's a real pleasure. I think we're trying to do the same thing. I mean, we're basically trying to monetize creating cool content, and you know, you're doing it in the art world. We're doing it in the written word at the moment. You know, we hope to do it in music and other things as well in the future, but for the moment we're just focusing on articles. And you know, it's great. That's what we're here for, really, to promote cool projects. Basically, that's what we want to do. So yeah, it's a pleasure, really, and it's great to have. It's actually great to have cool projects to promote. You know, otherwise we've got nothing cool to talk about. So,
no, but that's what's cool about ES, because we have cool projects to promote, to partner up with, to build stuff, and we're not just whining about the market, right? So we kind of forget about the market. We're all a bit wrecked because we would like to see ES $10, $20, right? But we're still building cool stuff.
We're still building cool stuff, exactly. I mean, Brock Pierce actually once said that, you know, the coolest stuff actually gets built in a bear market, because, you know, in a bull market, everyone's just making so much money. They're just like out partying all the time, I guess, you know, whereas in a bear market, you're like, you got to be like a bear. You got to like hunker down. You've got to like hibernate. You've got to work hard. You know, you've got to, so I think that's really true.
No, and we're hanging out, we're laughing. And
we're not having such a bad time. We're not like hiding under a, you know, like pile of snow, so that's cool.
Yeah, because our blockchain works.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Yeah,
not as good as we want, but it will evolve. It's very young. It's like a baby.
Yeah, so it works. And also, I think we're trying to do more than just the blockchain, right? Like, we're not in it just for the blockchain. I mean, a blockchain is just a vehicle to get where we want to get. We want to actually create something good, not just about. It's not about the crypto in the end, really. It's about the actual project itself. Like in your case, art. You know, in our case, content like articles and knowledge. Yeah, so I mean, that's kind of our focus more than the actual crypto itself. It's
It's the product. Right now is all about products. Blockchain is there, economy is there, tokens are there, and right now is all about the products.
Yeah,
we need to create products. We need to look out there and see how we can tokenize stuff and tokenize as much as we can.
I love it.
Totally agree.
We love you.
Okay, guys.
Project, man. We love Pixeos. I'm going to make sure I post everything inside of the chat, and we're dragging you back in here as the project continues to go on. So this is kind of like the first.
Yeah, anytime. It's a big pleasure. Yeah. I'll always be available.
We'll always be there to support you, and we love what you're doing, buddy. So stay in touch, and we look forward to doing this again sometime soon.
Thank you so much. Right. Now I'll go back to Dev Talk and see if we can release them very soon.
I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.
Thanks also to anyone who's stuck with us and listened to us rabbit on for like an hour and 20 minutes. If you're still there, you've done well.
I'm sorry for me being blunt and honest.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, I speak my mind all the time. I don't prepare. I just jump in.
No. We went on long because you were talking about cool stuff. It's not no.
Amazing.
I'm just joking.
Okay, you all have a good time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys. Thank you to everyone that is watching, and you can pop by our Telegram. I'll answer anything. You can comment.
You bet. I'll put all that stuff in the comments below as well. So anybody who's watching this, I'm going to put it in there. Love Pixeos. Love you, Fred, and we look forward to continuing to chat and hang out in the future.
Thanks, guys.
Count on
us. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.